Hi everyone. Are you a mom that is wondering what are boundaries when it comes to communication? What are some good level playing field kind of basic boundaries that I should, maybe think about doing now, or when my child does reach out to me again in the future? What are some good tips? So I get that question a lot. So I want to talk about boundaries this week because they are crucial, right? We all need them. And so for those of you that are new to my channel, I just want to welcome you. My name is Sally Harris, and I'm a mom who walked this difficult road with my own daughter for over a decade. And when her life spiraled, so did mine. And boundaries was a huge part of this learning curve for me. A lot of the things that I had to do differently. And so I want to talk about some of that today, strictly around communication, right? Just going to stick around that because boundaries is such a broad topic. So one of the things with boundaries is I want you to consider, first and foremost, is to learn from your past mistakes. Try to make a list of the things what were the major issues between you and your child. And then when you make a list of those things, you're going to probably see some similarities, and you'll be able to almost categorize those things into buckets. And if you are not able to see that clearly through your own lens, then someone else needs to maybe help you with that, because we all have them. So we all have things that we need to work on when it comes to communication. And a lot of it is listening. And some of this may seem super basic, but it's something that most of us don't do. And I've talked about this before, but when it comes specifically around communication is not only talking, right? It's listening. It is nonverbal communication, right? It's our body language. It's our sighs that our kids get from us a lot. All of those kinds of things are communication. And so we need to take a look at it as a whole. So with that, when it comes to taking a look at past mistakes, once you've categorized those buckets and you can figure out what you need to work on, but use those as stepping stones. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't, do all of that. It's not going to serve you, your child, your relationship. It's going to serve no one. I want you to look at it as stepping stones for growth in the future with your child. So we want to also start setting up some communication expectations. So if you are in communication with your child now and things are just kind of rocky, or maybe you're having some communication, maybe your child is being very disrespectful and attacking you and things like that. Because the moms that I serve, it is a wide variety of situations, right? So the communication that you can control is yours, your side of the equation. And a relationship communication takes two people, right? So you can't control what's coming at you, right? But you can control how you respond to it. And you also can control your initial conversation with someone and how you speak to them and what is your tone and your body language and all of those things. And so I want you to consider all of that, because all of that matters. And when you do have that conversation with your son or daughter, the conversation, maybe it's the first conversation after a long time, depending on your situation, I want you to really consider just sitting there and listening. And I don't mean sit there and be attacked, but also there may be some things that they need to get out and they need to talk to you about, and maybe they're upset, and maybe, just maybe, by having that conversation, it's going to open up doors for further communication where you will be able to say, your side of the story, or how you were feeling and things like that. It's not that your emotions don't matter, but I'm looking at this as, you're the mom, you're the adult, especially when we have these 17 or 18, 19, even 20, 21-year-olds that are just getting their foot out there in the world. And they're just trying to navigate their own circumstances. And yet now they have communication issues or relationship issues at home. And so there is a lot of challenges, obviously, nowadays too, because of balancing, text and email, messaging, all of that. Having that balance with your kids, because you have to think about what is your child's favorite mode of communication, right? And so if it's texting, then for right now, I would, and they want to text with you, then text with them, right? I highly doubt that they're one that wants to, hop on the phone call, because most kids nowadays don't. But you can discuss with them later on, like, what are those challenges of digitally, like being misconstrued in a text, or that's not how I meant it to come across, or all of those kinds of things that happen to all of us through email or text, right? Because it's not verbal, and we can't read the body language, we can't read the tone, all of those things. So we want to find strategies for a healthy balance, but that all will come once your relationship is on solid ground. But when it's still rocky, I want you to consider trying to figure out what is their mode that they will actually have conversations with you, whether it be text, email, or whatever, messenger, or whatnot. But really thinking about what are your ways to communicate with them. How can you put on those listening ears? What are the things that triggered you, the past mistakes you had, the past mistakes that you made in the relationship, and maybe how you responded to something, all of those things. And another thing that I just want to mention is, I've been hearing a lot more of this lately too, is when I talk to you moms, I hear in your voice, I hear pain. But the pain isn't even coming from your child. It's coming from your past. It's coming from your own childhood. And so that means you're parenting out of pain, right? And that's not your child's responsibility. Now, obviously, I am sorry for your pain. I don't want you to have that pain from your childhood, but that's not your child's fault or anyone else's fault. So you want to make sure that you kind of really process through what has happened in your own life, in your childhood, because it's crucial that you do the work that it takes to get there. Because if you aren't accepting your reality, how can you expect anyone else to? And so to have the best possible relationship with your own child, you need to do the healing as well. Like we all can say, oh yeah, my son or daughter needs to do X, Y, Z, and I need them to, get help with this mental health issue, or they need to stop doing this drug, or whatever the case may be. But sometimes we have to look in the mirror and know that, we've got our own stuff. We're human. And there's no shame in that. I've had my share of trauma therapy, I can promise you that. And it's okay. It's okay. But in order to have our best communication and have those communication boundaries, it's one of those things that you will be able to be a better mom, and you'll be healthier when you are whole. And you can't do that when you're still operating out of pain. So I hope that helps you today. If you're a mom that is looking, maybe you're feeling resentful about all of these things that's going on with your child, my new workshop on resentment is coming up in August, and August 12th. So you can click the link below under Summer Workshop and you can sign up for that. And other than that, there is a discovery call link as well. If you're not interested in the workshop, but you're maybe interested in coaching, group coaching, or one-on-one coaching, you can click that link for the discovery call. So I hope to talk to you soon. Take care.